Yo, it's a bullshit anything goes Thursday here on TEKNOBLAST Gaming. I got SIKSLAYER here, who has to bounce in about an hour and a half, which is good enough. I guess that's good.
Yeah.
That's always my target, 90 minutes. But we always end up going.
It never happens.
It never happens. It goes like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like it gets crazy.
It's usually maybe 2:10. I don't think it goes too far over.
I think that we had one night that we went like 2.5 plus. I think there was one time, and I was beat, man. Anyways, man, there wasn't much going on for me, at least. Man, I've been busy with work. I still been playing Ayuden 100 Heroes. Still a good game. It's gotten better compared to the beginning when I was playing it, right? Because when you start off something new, you kind of get like, is this any good? It's like I don't understand what's going on. Then little by little, it gets better. So it's gotten a lot better. I picked up a lot of new heroes to assist me, but I always end up using the same ones over and over again because they're already leveled up and I'm more familiar with their moves and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing that. Some more of Hell Divers. I think, did I tell you I got that? Or did I?
Yeah, you would. Well, you were telling me that you was gonna have to fix the situation with your son anyway. But
okay,
I was telling you not to do that for him.
So we did do it. We did do it. So what was it, last Saturday? I think it was, or last Friday. I went ahead and swapped out my video card over to his computer. And hold on, it's back on my computer now.
Oh, okay.
It didn't. He says it improved. Improved than what he had before. I don't think it did because I still had to put it down to like low levels on that 1050 Ti, right?
And you would have. Yeah, you would have had.
And from what the recommendations on is like, if I was going to use a 1050, then I would need an 8 gig video card. Mine's 4 gig.
Yeah.
And
well,
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, because my opinion in the whole situation was he needs to learn from this.
Yeah.
But hey, it's your kid. You know what I'm saying? Hands up, innocent here. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? If it were me, I wouldn't have, because he went around your back to do all of that. Yeah. And so the fact that it didn't work anyway, because you gave in and it still didn't work, I'm kind of happy to hear that. He needs to learn his lesson off of that.
Yeah.
All he had to do was sit back and chill. You would have gotten it for him anyway, and he still would have had the money. Yeah. And he would have had it on PlayStation. Yeah. And would he be enjoying it right now? Probably. But no, he had to go and do his own thing. I think,
yeah.
And even now, you gave in.
No, we did it one weekend.
Right?
We got it all going. I thought it was gonna be like a huge improvement, and it wasn't. And I was like, nah. It's like, it's like you're gonna.
Yeah, now you're telling me about the amount of RAM and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense that it wasn't. I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my tongue on that. Like, he deserves for it not to work out for what he did. So,
I told him, I was like, you're gonna need something better than what I have. So I'm just telling you right now, that's gonna run you like $300 for something decent. He's like, okay, but it doesn't phase him, man. That's the thing. It doesn't phase. He's still playing it, even on low res.
I mean, but you didn't what do you call? Refund it, especially what was going on with that game. You could finally get your money back. I thought that's what you were gonna do, and then he was gonna get it on PlayStation after all.
No, I was gonna get it on PlayStation anyways. Either way, even with the
right. But I was saying at least you could refund it, and then you could finally use the money that should have been spent.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought that was gonna be the resolution. I thought that's what you were about to say, but I guess you didn't even consider that.
Nah, he likes it too much. I wasn't gonna take it away from him, like get the refund and all that. And
but I was saying, get the refund and get the PlayStation version.
And
finally have a thing for that PlayStation to do. Frankly,
no, I mean I got it for the PlayStation because I traded in 2 games for it.
Oh, right? Okay. What game?
I traded in Fort Solis, the Starfield killer. Mm-hmm. That's for the exclusive for the PS5.
Hot fire? Hot fire.
Yeah. And then Crime Boss. Crime Boss sucks. So you ever consider that? Don't play it. Yeah.
Nope. I saw it on Xbox. I was like, heck no.
Nah, you don't want to play. It sucks.
Did you know that crap was on Xbox?
I knew it was on Xbox, but when I bought it, it wasn't available at the store. So they had the PS5 version. I just bought it because it was like $20 at the time.
Mm.
And so I traded in those two games. I got like $22 for both games. So that paid for half of Helldivers, you know?
No, 22 for both. The game is a $40 game. That should have been enough.
Yeah. Yep. So $22 for both Fort Solis and Crime Boss trade in value. And that's not having pro, because I canceled my pro like last year or so. And of course, GameStop was like, sir, like, I don't know this shit, right? Sir, right. you wanna renew your pro? It's like, dude, for $25. I forgot that they upped it to $25. It's not $15 anymore.
Oh, fuck no.
I was like, no, I ain't gonna pay no $25 for that pro. It's like, I already
ain't nobody got time for that.
I ain't got time for that, man. It's like,
will they even be open for you to use it?
Huh?
Are they even going to be open for you to use it?
What?
Exactly.
Oh,
GameStop.
This guy. Yeah. So they took it. They gave me a decent return on it. And I was like, all right. They're like, what? So what do you want? He's like, what are you looking for? What are you interested? You know how they try to sell you on shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, it's like, I just want $40 of PSN gift cards. Oh, okay. You sure? So what you want? It's like, yep. All right. So I got that, and I came back home and, got me my Helldivers on the PlayStation 5.
Nice.
So, and then last year when I did stop my pro, that's when I cashed in all the points that I have banked up all the years and got me the purple PS5 controller. I was like, all right, man, I got something free out of it,
Yeah.
I didn't pay a dime for that controller, not even taxes, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should have told me you wanted a purple controller.
What, you got one?
Yeah, never opened it.
Really? I might need another one, dude. Because the kids are playing Gigabash on PlayStation, and they're always like, "You got to get another controller, Dad, so you can play with us." And it's like, I ain't paying $70 for that shit.
Bro, I started treating the PlayStation like Xbox and buying stuff for it. Never used that. I barely played it PlayStation because I got the LeBron James stuff. Never used it.
Yeah.
Never took it out, so I'm done.
You done did it now? That's it.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done. Buying stuff for the PlayStation because I don't use it like that.
Yeah. I don't either, man. I mean, Gigabash is a fun one, and then Helldivers is actually fun. It is fun. But there's nothing else that interests me. They have nothing coming up. That's the thing. Not that I've seen that interests me. It's like maybe there's something out there for somebody, but like nothing.
Oh well.
Sorry, PlayStation.
Well, there's always Xbox games.
There's always Xbox games. Yeah, I can play Sea of Thieves on that one.
Yeah, with the other 40 million people who play. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And then
but I wish I would buy a game that's in Game Pass though.
Man, you know what? If PlayStation would do day one games in the service, I would sign up for the middle tier, like right away.
Well, first of all, and I'm not
the middle tier of what?
The PSN,
PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus. But here's the thing about it.
I don't want the premium because all the extra fluff crap is just worthless to me.
Yeah,
I don't want
extra fluff. But here's the thing about it, though, right? Like, and I don't mean this on no fanboy tip, but if you want to take it that way, fine, because it's funnier to me that way, right?
Yeah.
But PlayStation ain't got no games to put on it. All they can put is back catalog.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I still maintain they have 5 systems worth and 2 handhelds worth, right? And now they're starting to have PC stuff, right? Eventually there'll be a back catalog of that, right?
Yeah.
That alone should be on there already. You see what Microsoft is doing, and they continue in a pattern of copying what Microsoft is doing, right? So this is another one that they need to copy, right? That back catalog ought to be there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that alone would give that to everyone because people still just want the new, right? Of course, right? But that would, how many people what are still eating fat off of Game Pass, playing all types of games they never even played before at all on any
It's me, man. Ayuden.
Right.
Ayuden.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So PlayStation needs to get up on that. Like all this money they spend on paying for exclusivity, which you see a lot of these publishers, Square included, right, is getting up off that. They finally see the simple logic of not doing that, right? Well, there you go.
There you
You
go.
know? So they don't have no new games to put. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but at least we understand that's what it is already. But you have a whole back catalog.
Telling you, man.
You need to be doing that, bro.
If it wasn't for Game Pass, I would have never discovered Yakuza. Ayuden, right? Type games. I would never play them. I mean, there will be some interest. But I was like, I'm not gonna run out to the store and buy it.
Right.
You know? What's up, 100?
Like, Hundo, what up,
great people?
What's up, fam?
And
but I made the bet with Hundo. Looked like it, man. The turntables on me.
What would happen?
Oh, word? What was the bet?
Yeah, I don't remember on the show. Like he was like,
I know you guys were doing a bet or something. I forgot what it was.
Nuggets gonna win. I was like, man, said youngsters ready. We'll.
He's like, uh-oh. Did we lose him? Oh, he's cutting out.
Yeah, he's cutting out big time.
He's probably still driving.
Yeah. Just realized. Well, yeah. I guess 100 had got one over on him.
So, yeah, I mean, if they would put their games, like, if they put all their first party into the service and keep them there, like Xbox does, I would sign up for their middle tier service. And right now, I have their lowest one only because I want to play Helldivers, just to play online. That's all I have it for.
Right.
I don't care about the monthly games or anything like that. I just care for the online portion of it. And I only got it for 3 months because I know by then I'll be worn out of Helldivers. You know? That's fun. I mean, I don't know if you're planning to get it, but it's a fun game if you like those type of shit.
I'm not planning to get it. I just have too much on my plate.
Yeah.
If it was on Xbox, I probably still wouldn't have got it. But I feel it needs to come to Xbox because that's the player base that would naturally gravitate to it.
Yeah.
To us, it's just another game of countless others that that does that in the first place. But like, I mean, let's be honest, it's PC that had that game on its back for the longest time. If there's a good number of PlayStation dudes playing it now, that's only because the Xbox dudes are playing it. You know, let's just keep it a buck. And so I really feel that just. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that already, and rumors start in situations like this. So I don't believe the rumor is true in and of itself, like considering the origin, but it may be true in terms of fact that there is some talk. Well, I don't know because Sony with their contracts and stuff, I don't see how that would be there. I would imagine they're pretty ironclad in their favor.
Yeah.
So I would assume that's one of the first things that they would have on because we already know their contracts already have Game Pass in mind too when they do exclusivity, right? So even after the exclusivity is done, they still can't be on Game Pass for some of these games because it's a part of the contract that they're taking with Sony, right? So I can only imagine that Sony is doing all types of similar updates to their contracts, which thankfully, as I said before, like it doesn't matter. These publishers are starting to finally wake up to it that it's not in their benefit anyway. So, oh well, Sony, you may line it.
This guy jumps in and cuts out.
Yeah, man.
No, look. You wanna know what happened? I pulled out my headphones. Right, I forgot that I have a wired headset in. Right, and I was like, I thought it was the charger. So now I pulled it out. But anyway, I'm gonna wait for that game to hit Xbox, man, before I play it. Man, I said I was gonna get it, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait for it to hit Xbox. It'll be on Xbox soon.
Yeah, I imagine if it comes, yeah. And I probably still won't even play it because I got other shit on my plate. But it should have been there all along. All this drama the game went through for no good reason. I mean, but it did show the world how it's to be done, right?
Yeah.
We're the ones who's paying this money. Y'all work for us. And if you don't, you're gonna get fucked over. You see how the PC gaming community don't play.
Yeah.
We don't play. Period. This is a textbook example of how we don't play. We will ruin you. We won't care at all. We will refund. Just don't buy. We won't even pirate out of spite.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah. Right. We're not doing it. So all this stuff I was saying about Steam and all of that, yo, Valve can get it too. This is why they bend over backwards for us. They know they can get it too. When Steam first came out, it was hated. I want to make that clear. I know me and realists, we go back and forth about this. But I want to make that abundantly clear. That was always the case, right? PC gamers, yo, Valve can get it too. Let them cross us at any point. They'll catch the smoke too. Yeah. And they know it. This is why they behave. And that's the kind of give and take where we give them money, they give us games with no bullshit. That's the attitude we need to cultivate with these developers and publishers.
Yeah.
And it's that black and white. I don't want to hear but this and that and that. That's their problems to worry about, not mine. I'm the consumer. I won't consume it if it's not good. And you definitely won't get this money. Black and white. That's simple. I don't care who's there, but this, I don't give fuck. Right? And I think we as gamers need to be on that mindset as a whole. PlayStation especially. This is why they're in the hole they are now. And this is also why Xbox isn't in that same hole, right? Microsoft woke up and started listening to us and listening to people who knew what the hell was going on, because they had people in there who didn't. And you see how close it came to ending all of it. So, bro, that's just a perfect situation. It opened a lot of eyes for a lot of people. And on top of that, there are a lot of people we know now will always have their eyes closed because they were never paying attention in the first place. But anyway, man, but a lot of crazy stuff going on.
I was just gonna say, what you're seeing is the difference between open and closed platform. And some PlayStation, they'll get a hold of it. You know what I mean? They'll figure it out that they don't have any power over the consumers on PC, and they'll have to just start playing by the same rules that everybody else is playing with. Remember?
Yep.
Like I said, man, a little chime in the store. The wise man learns from a fool's mistakes. They should learn everything that they are thinking about doing, that they do on their consoles. Microsoft's already tried and failed. So just go ahead and skip all those things that Microsoft's already shown are not going to work.
Yeah.
Just skip over that. Don't try to impose it, especially if you didn't keep your word, right? They say, oh, it was always there. It doesn't matter. You didn't have it ready. And look, I know some people care, but most people don't. They're gonna make an example out of you.
Yeah.
You like they say, a lot of people weren't affected, but they're gonna stand up for the people that are affected, the other 170 plus countries, because they have an opportunity to prove a point.
Yeah.
Keep your word, do what you say you're gonna do, and don't give us no BS, just like you said. But PlayStation, they'll figure it out. They have to. They have to because it's obvious at this point that they're consumers. They've trained them the wrong way, and I've been saying this for years. You guys have heard me say it so many times.
Yes, you have.
They've been training their consumers the wrong way. Xbox did it too, but not to the effect that Sony's done it. Right. Which is why now you still see PlayStation still losing these deals. You got Square finally waking up and smelling the roses, things like that. Microsoft figured this out 4 years ago when they said, no more time exclusivity.
Yeah.
But soon PlayStation to get with the program, they'll understand that, we're old school game. Most of the PC guys, if you're young, you're doing what the old school taught you. You're just following. You're holding up tradition, so to say.
Yeah. Because don't know why, but it's good enough.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all you need is the strength of numbers, and that's the problem. See, like a lot of people, they like to trumpet from the hills that when Xbox tried to raise the price of $20, we fought for that. We stood up for that, and they changed it. Look, dude, fight for something else. You know what I mean? Like console gamers don't. It's like I'm in my space, and you're in your space. Whereas PC gamers, it's like all for one for all type of thing. But always, you got to keep your word, especially when they view you as scummy as it is. They hate all the major corporations. Like they hate Ubisoft, they hate EA, they hate Microsoft, they hate PlayStation, they hate them all. So I think that basically what they're trying to do, which is what we should all do as consumers, train these corporations to give us what we want, opposed to doing what they want. They want our money, but for some reason, a lot of people can't seem to grasp that concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They need to understand who's in charge, and it's not them. It really isn't. We're in charge. It's that simple. If they want our money, they will bend over backwards. And like I said, textbook example, because they started saying the same old rah 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 you could have predicted in a situation like this before it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people maintained frame, right? There was lots of, memes, all types of stuff. Plus, we're watching the numbers. We're watching that whole chart thing. Hell, they're about to make a cape off of that, right? The developers also understand, right?
Yeah.
We have too much, not inside information, but there's a lot of knowledge of how industry works to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
That the gamers soon understood that there is the developers, there's Sony, and there was even the support guys from the community managers and stuff, right? Who weren't toting the line for the benefit of the developer, but they were toting the line for the benefit of Sony, right? We quickly understood all those elements at play, right? And we could understand who's saying what for us and who's saying what for their pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sony and the community managers, at least up to a point with the community managers, right, were saying whatever they wanted to us as excuses to cover their backs. The developer was honest with us the whole time, right? They were like, it's not up to us. It's up to Sony. Dude even said, we even warned them about this, that they should delay the game until, the feature of, the PSN integration was there from day one. Because once again, look at Ghost of Tsushima that just came out today, right? That's how they announced the PSN integration. That game had no problem because it's a principle of the thing. And we know the scummy shit they're doing behind it, just trying to jack up their numbers off of the backs of PC gamers who get no benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, we're not. But that's the thing. So we understood where to direct our rage at, right? Our displeasure, what's going on.
That was the first thing I said when I heard about that. It's like, they're just trying to piggyback off the PC community, inflate their numbers.
Yep. Because it was the PC community that gave that game a life in the first place. Because if it was PlayStation exclusive with no PC play, it would have been DOA, dead or on arrival, bro.
Well, I was telling Realist last week, like after I got the game, me and my son were playing Helldivers, and it's just a simple friend number, just like Nintendo. It's just a simple number that you give to each other to friend each other, invite to the squad and all that.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how it is today.
Yeah.
And so then after experiencing that, and then finding out this whole thing with the link thing that they were trying to push in July or June, I was like, well, what's the benefit? It's like, it doesn't add anything to link up Helldiver account to PSN. It doesn't add any benefit to link up the game to a PSN account. It's like, what is that for? And that's my first thought that came. It's like, dude, they're just trying to inflate their numbers.
Yep.
It's like they don't have to. They don't have to use their account. It just shows like, oh, look at all this influx of PSN accounts that just got created in the month of May because of Helldivers.
Oh, you can't hype up 12 million and then expect people not to understand where they came from. Because on this particular issue, I think we can both be right. I think maybe they do want to inflate, but I do know that data is equally, if not more, probably more important than just saying we had an influx of new PSN accounts.
Yeah, so the data to get from it, you're saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what I think. Right. That's what I think it's mostly about, right? Yeah. Because you got to understand, PlayStation would love to do what Microsoft is doing and just go all in on PC. There's somebody there who wants to go all in, right? Just like they say, I said this pretty much verbatim. Just like everybody says that there's turmoil inside of Xbox. There's same turmoil going over in PlayStation. You have a contingent. God dang, man. What the heck are they ringing for? They have a contingent of people who want to go all in and don't want to be late. Insomniac is one of them. People at Naughty Dog understand because they've been talking about PC this whole time. So if they can bring these types of numbers to these meetings and say, look, this is the amount of accounts that we have. But if you look at here, if you look at this right here, their PlayStation, they play on our console. So if they're able to show that these people have dual citizenship, and they can see that a lot of people are just basically choosing to play on PC, then that's something that strengthens one's argument who's like, we need to be more aggressive. Because although that guy said they're going to be more aggressive, what does that mean for slow moving PlayStation? Right? They've already been taking too long to get their games to the PC market.
Right.
So well, then, if they can get them in 1 year instead of 3 or 2, you know what I mean? Somebody's touting that. Somebody's trumpeting that. I'm telling you.
Okay, so I have a question for you then. Do you think the side that wants this PC stuff to happen, right? Like they should have been doing all this time, is the same people, Herman Holtz and the other one, who have now been promoted, right, to the 1A and 1B in terms of being in charge of PlayStation. Herman Holtz had to be one person who was involved in it, in my mind. I don't know about the other guy.
Well, the thing about Herman Holtz, we really don't know him, right?
Right.
The thing about Phil Spencer, like we can say, Firefield and all this other stuff, but we know that he's a PC gamer.
Right.
We know that he understands.
Go ahead. But the reason I ask is, he was there during the old guard of PlayStation, right? Before PS, was it last gen, I guess?
Yeah.
Right? When they transitioned like leadership.
He's from Gorilla.
He's from Gorilla. Yeah, he was there. Gorillas in the older days, like in the PS3 era, because there's lots of talk of like, there was a bit of like dissenting opinions at PlayStation, just like there was at Xbox, right? And one side won out, and now it seems to me that side is on the outs, right? And now this side that wants to to work with PC and all of that is getting their shine now with Herman Holtz and the other guy whose name I keep forgetting, right? And now you have like the head of Sony itself, he's done with whatever works, so fine, right? And if they could do that, fine. I think the lesson that even being learned with this health divers situation, I think the people who are there now have the potential to learn the right lessons from that whole situation, right? Not the leadership that was there before. I don't think the leadership that was there before was capable of understanding this, right? And so there's potential there. There's potential. This is just all theory crafting, though.
But you got to understand PlayStation's position, right? They don't have the huge infrastructure to make these moves. They weren't prepared for success with this game, right? They throttled at 400,000 gamers. They never expected that type of volume. The first one barely moved, right? So it was a huge surprise, caught everybody off guard. And now they're scrambling to make it right. So the PSN they always wanted it to be a part of things. But what I'm seeing between PlayStation and Xbox, you got two companies doing the same thing basically for different reasons. Where you have Xbox, they're acquiring, and they're part of this huge mammoth, the biggest in the world, right? And they are hungry for money, more money, more money. Market cap increases. Market cap increases because investors keep investing. So as those investors invest, they got to make everybody money so that they stay invested. So if you joined in at $400, you want to see that 400 turn to 500. If you joined in at 77 like me, then you've been winning, right? But everybody at every time is trying to. They need to realize some profits for them. So Xbox is they're gonna try everything they need to try to make more money. Put some games on PlayStation. But one thing that Phil Spencer says is it's not gonna damage Xbox. So yeah, there are gonna be some other games to go to PlayStation because they just have to make more money. Like even PC is not enough for Microsoft. That's just how crazy it is. Like Xbox and PC is not enough. PlayStation is not enough. That's why they need to create more gamers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But then you look at PlayStation on the other side, they just need to make more money. They need to be a part of making more money. I don't know if they're like the old guard, the old Japanese way. I don't think that they would ever want. They would have to be at the end of their desperate rope before they start putting, their games on competitive platforms. But I can see games like Helldivers, like that. But see, I don't see. I see like Jazz articles where he's saying that no games off limits. I don't see that. Like, I don't see. I see like multiplayer big games or games that are,
service.
like the last 4 games that went over there, right? Sea of Thieves, 6 years old, and it just shows that the PlayStation gamer. I've been saying that they're not a multiplayer community, but they just might be. You know what I mean? It's just that they don't like, for all the talk, even from Xbox fans, about how PlayStation is number one because of their exclusive, which I always said was bullcrap. But when you look over there, they're basically just playing the multiplayer games that everybody else is playing. I'm surprised to see if Thieves really just went over there and thrived the way it is.
Yeah.
Because that's a Fortnite, Call of Duty, Madden 2K community. Like that's all I see. But then when you see Sea of Thieves, I'd love to see the numbers. I don't know if we'll ever get them.
Yeah, but
I
the
love
fact
to
that
see
the numbers are already is, even on the Xbox side, it's 40 million. Even half of that was surprising to me. Sea of Thieves, like, we rarely hear any talk about it. It's just from time to time we hear the number go higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
But I don't really know nobody who fuck with it like that, who did in the past. They try to here and there, but don't stay active in it. But like, with the numbers prove otherwise. So I don't know.
You hear about it every summer showcase, and everybody complains when they hear about it. I'm like, dude, what are y'all complaining about? Look, every game, if they show 20 games, if 15 of them are for me, it's a great show. Everything is not for you. You're not the only gamer. Your taste, they want everybody's money. You're gonna see some strategy. You're gonna see some little single A games. You're gonna see some Choo Choo Charles. You're gonna see some of that,
Charles, baby.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see these types of games. Now, not necessarily at a showcase. For a showcase, I think you want to be all AAA. It's got to be loud music and disembodied voices going crazy and loud applause. So I expect to see nothing but big games. Choo Choo Charles, it's on Xbox. I almost bought it. Thought about you, but I don't really have time for it.
Was it like $15 or so?
It's 20. It's 20.
It's 20.
But the thing is PlayStation. They need to stay viable, right? Because the console is not it. They see the same thing that PlayStation see. I mean, the Xbox sees, and that's that the console is dying. Why do you think Nintendo is dropping that console this year? It's like, man, if we put it out right now, it might not take off, and we don't have any games, so let's just push it back.
Typical
you know
Nintendo,
what I mean? They're gonna push it back until they think it's a good time. And right now, I mean, people just aren't spending the money that I don't understand why these corporations thought that COVID was the turn of the economy. Yeah. Like that was flat out dumb. Like, you should have known that everything was inflated for that reason.
Yeah, and people call that too. Like, people that I know don't know any of this stuff. Are like, yeah, a lot of businesses just raking in this profit now because it's easy. But when this is over, they're still going to be expecting that same money because they always do. That's how they get down.
Yeah, it was very front loaded, right?
Yeah,
very front loaded, and then at some point it's going to plateau and then level out a bit towards the end.
And that's the thing about these industries. I've never understood these because these greedy people, like, usually they're gone before it gets to that anyway. But how many times does this have to happen throughout history before people realize, like, there's certain, like, in the video game industry in particular, it always made that sort of sense to me, though, right? And I've said this more than once before. Like, do you not know the industry you're in? Do you not understand certain choices are going to have certain consequences or reactions from your consumer base, and should already be predictable if you've been at this long enough? Because I, as a consumer, already know ahead of time certain things are going to react to certain ways, right? And so they seem to do. It's like they have to know, but they go after the easy profit. And it's like the phrase I hear often nowadays as a joke. People will say "f future," like they'll curse out the future version of themselves, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it's a joke because they know it's bad that they're doing it now, but your current you doesn't have to worry about that. It's future you who's gonna have to worry about that, right? And it's the same with these businesses, but usually these guys are gone before it gets to that, right? Now it's like they're still there. they did it anyway, and they're sitting there crying like they don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm just like, I understand the gains of profit, right? But that's not going to work out forever. And in the end, you're going to end up in the gutter. And you know this, but you go for it anyway instead of doing something else. Maybe it may not be as successful up front, but in the end, you'll still have a job or whatever. What are you doing? I don't get it. Like the mindset of I get the whole like profit. I get it. It's a legal obligation they have as corporations. I understand that, but it's like you get profit for a year to destroy the company 6 months after that.
Yeah.
Right? When you could have okay success for 3 years in a row. Right? And I understand they want the profit first, but once again, it's like you're screwing over your future self for success now. That's going to melt away in your hands. And I don't get it. So it's that same mindset. Like they seem not to have realized it's the same thing with Square Enix and all these others who have ever taken these deals, right?
Yeah.
It just never made sense. It doesn't make sense, period. Like, don't you get what's going to happen, how it's going to blow up in your face? Because it's happened many times before. So how do you not see it? It's happening to competitors.
I brought this up in the past. Like, I don't get how these companies still sign these deals.
Yeah.
And you seen the history of some of these deals that just they kind of fail, and like, oh man, we need to expand our reach,
Yeah.
And it's like, but they probably have it in their heads like, oh, this is not gonna happen to us. And it's like, come on.
What makes you think you're invincible, dude?
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there.
So have you guys kind of like know the nitty gritty of the whole Square Enix thing and what they're because I didn't keep up with it. I just saw like, oh, okay, cool. That's good for them.
Well,
and for everybody.
Well, the first thing was when they did the whole situation with bringing Final Fantasy 14. I think it was around that time when we found out that they had a new CEO, and it wasn't even recent news. That was months old. That was never covered by anybody. Nobody seemed to know.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody seemed to know. That's how much people weren't paying attention. But that also ties into the other subject of play when we talk about these fake influences. When you talk about Jez, right? Look at the studio that Microsoft put together, which, by the way, took years to get to the point that it's now. So that means they've been working on the studio, right? And a lot of people from past histories at other publishers and developers and stuff are at this new AAA, right? But nobody knew. How this skip Jez if he has all this inside information? What about all these other insiders? How come none of them even had a taste of this?
Yeah.
Because they're not real insiders. They really have no info.
No.
And Jez Corden, for example, is just making shit up. He's like a monkey throwing his shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Ooh.
That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing. It has to be that because I've been starting to sit back and think about it, but particularly this newer AAA studio that Microsoft put together. It's not a recent thing. They were putting this together for years. People from other studios and publishers who have made their names in other games and franchises.
They just thought of it today, and it got announced today.
Right.
They just got lucky and stumbled on it.
Right. So how'd they miss it after all this time? If you have such
inside information, why didn't you have any inside information about this new studio?
Like, you didn't even need to know the name or who was in it, but that there's simple fact
inner workings. Like, there's something coming up about a new
that they've been working on for years. You don't have to even know that they were working on whatever they're working on, anything like that. Who's in it? Just the fact that it exists. Y'all didn't even get a whiff of that because you have no juice like that, like y'all like to claim. That's what it is. I had that epiphany every day, bro.
Well, I didn't need an epiphany. I knew they was all full of crap because any reporter, or anything, that you're only as good as your sources, right? Yeah. And you never know who these guys' sources are. They'll never give it up. It is what it is. But how long is Dying Light 2 been out?
Yeah, 3 years, I think.
I want to say 2 to 3, right? 2+. Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember there was these rumors, right? Phil Spencer's in Poland right now, right? Everybody thought that they were about to buy who made Dying Light?
Techland.
right? Is it
Techland or
Techland? Who
CD
made?
Project Red?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's Techland
Man, don't
because
be
they
questioning
came,
my knowledge, man. Tech
but
knows.
they no, well, I got them confused because
Yeah.
they came from the Dead Island, right? So I get them confused. So here you go.
Oh yeah. Dead Island people.
Everybody thought that they were about to buy Techland. Remember, they were in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Spencer's in Poland. They're gonna buy Techland, and Dying Light 2 is gonna be in Game Pass day one. Remember these rumors back then?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Yeah.
remember?
I was
You really remember?
Yeah, no, I remember. I was kind of excited about that too because I like Dying Light. 1 and 2 were awesome.
I love Dying Light. I love their spirit, right? The way that they talk about game making and their ideas. Now, I like Dying Light 1, but maybe it's never really as good as the first time. But like, I was excited. I was hoping it was true. But around that time, I would say that's what he was doing there. He was putting this thing together, and now he got it.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Like, but Sick was saying, no, I didn't quit, but it's in the store. So anyway, yes, I had to put my boom up. So anyway, this is not something that they just stumbled upon. This is something that's been in the works. And let's be honest, man, all these people that are crying about Tango Gameworks, Arcane Austin, they didn't really support them the way that they want to put on. Let's be honest, you'd rather play something.
What was this misplaced outrage you were talking about with Tango?
Well, because everybody was crying. In my autoplay, I get the guy y'all call Shaggy. I get him. I'm listening to him as him, a girl, and Destin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening to him. It's like these idiots make no sense.
Yeah,
it's like you're a consumer, be mad, but don't question a business for making a business decision.
Yeah,
the business decision is that Tango may be a great studio and they may make great games. I think that. But if those games are not making any money, they're not that great. It doesn't matter. It can be a cult hit, and you can sell them for
any of that.
and you can sell them for $5.
That's the sad thing
You can sell them for $5 until the end of time. So that's Hi-Fi Rush. It just so happens they had a game that was beloved, but it made no money again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've not heard anybody say that they don't like The Evil Within. I've heard people say they like the first one better than the second one, but I've never heard anybody say they don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? I heard people say the Ghostwire was mid.
give me the Evil Within anytime, man.
Yeah, but see, you look at Prey. Prey probably sold like a little over 1 million. And people and so you always have this loud minority that's always acting like what they like is what everybody likes. It's not true.
Yeah.
So Arcane Austin never made a hit. Right? This is the production business, man. You gotta show me the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it works. You can
Tango
make the
was
best
gutted ages ago.
You can,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
see, and there was so many things that goes into that. You heard I've seen people say they could have sold it. So what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like you look at Microsoft. They tried to buy WB, $4 billion right before Activision came up. Why didn't they buy WB? No IP. They don't want to give up the IP. They just want to sell studios. So do you think that somebody's going to buy Tango, right? Their studio for what? If your guys saw the documentary that I saw, they're basically in this like worn out office building. It doesn't even seem like it's technology going on there. So
yeah,
and you think somebody's gonna go buy that? No, like
exactly.
all these people that were upset about it, they're gonna buy this Activision game. They would, and what they don't want to tell you is that they would much rather play this Activision game.
Yeah.
Right. This game is going to be AAA. It's going to be huge. It's going to be marketed to the high heavens, and you would much rather play this game over a Hi-Fi Rush, no matter how endear. What is the word that's how darling you think it is, right?
Beloved.
How charming you think it is,
Yeah.
right? That's the word I'm looking for. No matter how charming you think it is, you're going to play this Activision game. The people that looked at Hi-Fi Rush and said, they're going to play this Activision game. So why would you rather have that studio that's in Poland, or would you rather have Tango, where we've already seen, right? But again, Microsoft still owns Hi-Fi Rush. And it's and the more it's like people don't miss you until you're gone.
Exactly.
So now there's this reality that Hi-Fi Rush.
I miss it.
Exactly. Right. We got the second one. Nobody really cared, myself included.
Yep. No, same here.
But so you got all these people, and now Hi-Fi Rush is gone. Is leaving. Don't you think that if they come up with another one, it'll get the love that the first one should have gotten? Because that guy is still alive. He's still around. Jan Johansson, he's still around. You know what I mean? Tango is just a studio.
But the problem I have is, okay, so let's run these names, right? You got not even name for name, but I will name a couple of people as examples of each group, right? Well, first of all, you got definitely that's the sound effect for these assholes, right? First of all, you got the dudes who love to make all these YouTube videos and on social media, like the social media clowns, right?
Yeah. Yo, what's up, man? It's TEKNOBLAST. Thank you for tuning in. You know that guy,
right? Not so much that guy. That guy is more level-headed than the overwhelming majority of these clowns. But anyway, what I'm saying is, like, you see these people who sit there and rile people up with no information, and then later on, when it's the next week and they're talking about the next thing, they'll mention the other shit in hindsight in a way different manner than they did at the time when it was the active thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because now the Fratanga plays or Noah's Alex, all the Asmon Gold, now they know all the shit that they should have knew when they were talking about it and trying to educate people and and dictate what people should think on this, right? Like the fact that studio was gutted, right? There's that the dude left February of last year, which is over a year ago. The fact that the studio was dying in 2015. Activision was dying even though they had the most successful game year after year after year. That's why they got bought in the first place. Not because Microsoft was looking to them, because they were looking to Microsoft to be saved. So the whole situation was already bad. That was already should have been understood, right? Then you have the group of gamers who were like, oh, the Xbox gamers was like, oh, y'all should have kept them anyway. Keep what? It's been gutted. That's point one. So that negates your point, right? Oh, we should have had, a Japanese developer. You didn't have none. Once again, it was gutted. They left, right? What do you want for them to do? But once again, it's just a matter of optics and not facts, right? So now Microsoft has another black eye just for Sony to go ahead and fuck up again as they always do this week, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the same old shit from the same old talking heads. And then there's all these guys who want to be like, oh, the Xbox is done, blah, blah, blah. All these headlines from all these guys. Modern Vintage Gamer, who puts up one video a week, right? Usually on Mondays on some retro type thing. That's what he does. I mean, it's in his name, Modern Vintage Gamer. But every once in a while, he'll break his tradition and timing to put up a video quick. And even the headlines is just straight sensationalist bullshit, right?
Yeah.
The type of headlines you already know is going to attract eyes, but it has nothing to do with the facts, right? Completely exaggeration if it's even remotely true, right? Like this, how many times does this have to happen before people open their eyes and realize what's going on, right? To just be like, okay, fine, you believe that? Okay, fine, who cares? Just the fact was the studio was gutted. If this happened to Sony, nobody would blink an eye.
No.
Right? And once again, none of y'all bought the motherfucker in the first place. I didn't buy it. I've been playing it lately, right? Before it happened. Now I don't even want to beat the game because now people are going to look at it and say, oh, you beat the game. Oh, after it was dead. Where were you before? Oh, yeah, stupid motherfucker. Look at the achievements that I have from before then. I've been playing it for weeks before this. But I don't even want to play it anymore. It kind of pisses me off, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering if I'm going to uninstall it or not, get my space back for the. Actually, no, I don't even need it because I installed both of them on my Xbox and then the sequel on my PC. But you know what I'm saying? Like with Hellblade, right?
Yeah.
Right? But like all this shit talking, bro, it makes me not even want to play a game that I finally was getting the groove of. Because you remember, I've been telling you from the beginning, from back when it first came out, I was saying I'm having issue with like the timing situation with that game, right? Because it's very timing centric, right? I was having trouble with that for a long time, but now that I have all the characters,
it's because you're getting old. Reflexes just like
no, it's not that, but not. I'm always been bad with timing when it comes to stuff like that. That's never been a mechanic I've been good with, right? But like Now that I have the big black guy with the glasses, I got the chick with the guns, of course, right? Like I can tag them in to do other moves to keep the combo going, right? So now I'm getting a lot more of the S-class combos, right? And at that point, the game really starts to go. Oh, you start to hear the like a crowd in the background.
Oh yeah.
Chai. The better you do, the more you hear it. The music starts to keep up, and it gets you in the groove, right? And that was the thing that really got me into the game finally, right? I started really keying in with the timing, the gameplay mechanics, all of that, having a good time, and I'm seeing all of this shit and it fucked it up for me. Really,
man. I wish they had an option where you could just fight the bosses, because I really want to fight the wolf boss again.
Oh, and there's one other thing I don't like about that game.
What is it?
Even though there's an option
Speak on it.
You know that thing where, like, for example, the level where you're in the computer thing with those big orbs, right? And you have to hit them to get the light to go through, like the data to go through. But there's a part at the end though, when you get to one of those orbs and you have to press the different buttons in time in a certain pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is the worst. Even though there's an option there for accessibility, we can switch it to where it's just the X button.
Yeah.
You still have to do all the button presses, but it's just the X button instead of being different buttons, right?
Oh, okay.
Just trust me.
Oh, I didn't even know that was there.
Those shits are fucking annoying, and that's the part right there I really hate about the game. Everything else, timing wise, I started to get, I can deflect. I just beat that chick with the 2 staffs, right? Go? The staff member. Right. And you know that chick with the 2 staffs, right? I think she's like the 3rd or 4th boss.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have to understand that parry system to beat her, right? Because they testing you at a level where if you don't know it, you're not going to win, because it's a prerequisite, I imagine, for other shit. That's
I had to step away a couple of days for certain bosses because, like, I can't get this done.
Right, that timing shit. Even the first boss, it annoyed the fuck out of me. And remember, I played that day 1. I did beat the first boss, I think day 1 or close to it. Then after that, I didn't really fuck with it because that shit was annoying to me. It was after all this time I finally went back to it just for this shit to happen. But it's just, I'm just saying, like, all this stuff, like, to sum up what I'm trying to say is, all this stuff, like, people have these worst optics about the worst shit. And then when it happens to Sony, oh, it's nothing. But meanwhile, Sony's fucking burning.
Yeah.
The Xbox tax is real. Even among those dudes who believe it's real, like Fratanga, he believes the Xbox tax is real. He's been known to say lately, or just before this whole thing with Tango, Xbox butter, like kissing King David's ass, right? All of a sudden, King David is God and shit like that. Is what he's been saying lately, particularly in his live streams. If you watch, Power Boss, shout out to him. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. I've had him, talk to Frit, behind the scenes on some real shit, right? And like, he knows what the fuck he's doing. I'll just put it like that. They know literally what they're saying, even when you think they're saying something that's truly their opinion, like during his live streams and shit.
Yeah. Even
then, he's saying certain shit. They're all doing it, right? To get at you in a certain way. But even like you look at Ono as Alex, right? 99% of his videos, I agree with. Because 99% of the time, he's talking about what these companies are doing, what these crazy fanboys are doing, which is 99% of the time, even then, it's ponies, right? So
the one thing that's annoying by that dude, okay, because I think I'm with you on him, right? But the few that I've watched his videos is when he jumps on his chair and does the whole thigh thing.
Bro, it's getting, listen.
That's like, okay, dude, maybe the first time was like, funny, but now after over and over again, it's like, okay, you can stop it now,
Yeah. And it's not like they're not speaking facts most of the way, but it's the little in-between things they're saying. And at least with Fratanga, I know he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I
know for a fact he's doing it on purpose. I could prove it, but I don't want to reveal certain things. And if you think, oh, I'm just act like an insider, fine, don't believe it. I don't give a shit, right? But I know for a fact he knows what he's doing. When it comes to Alex, he's not with that as much, but he sort of is on social media.
Just you know what I'm saying? Everybody.
That's right. Just to fuck with everybody, to keep it going, to keep that game going, because all they do is profit, right?
Yeah.
So, and people need to just fucking open their eyes and see they're all being played. All of us being played. This is why I say, stop fucking with all this press and shit that don't even give us the facts in the first place. We don't need them for that. They suck at it anyway, even if they were to try to focus on that. They don't. Like, it's funny how all of a sudden Jason Schreier and all these other motherfuckers, all of a sudden now after the shit has happened, now they have all this inside information that they didn't release before. Right? Like when all of a sudden now when Microsoft was about to go acquire Activision, now Jason Schreier is releasing all this inside information about all the bad stuff that had been happening behind the scenes there, right? Shit that had me saying I'm not buying Call of Duty while this guy's still there. What's his name? Who's the head of Activision? Up until they just sold it.
Bot Kit or Kid Up or whatever his last name was.
Huh?
Kotick?
No.
Kotick.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick. Fuck that dude off of that shit. And I've been saying that for years, right? I've been on that tip, right? But why did, I mean, see, that's the thing about Jason Schreier. He's actually a journalist in that degree, or at least he knows how to talk to people to get them to snitch on other stuff that's happening within their purview, right? Yeah. To come snitch to him, right? So he can have these receipts. Kind of like, what's his name who was on Club Shay Shay with Unk? The comedian. The little short motherfucker. You know,
Kevin Hart,
the pimp dude, not Kevin Hart, the one that had clown Kevin Hart. What do you call his name? Cat Williams, right?
Cat Williams.
Did that
Bruh,
same?
You could have said Money Mike, right? Anything.
Money, right? Listen, he did that same sort of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's collecting receipts. Oh, he loves to do that. Blah. He cultivated his whole thing of like he's exposing what he calls the Illuminati, and then what's supposed to be his payoff, right? The second ever live comedy stream on Netflix. She was born AF. Nobody even talks about it
like that
to shit on it. Nobody even talks about it to shit on it. It was boring AF. It was one of his worst ever. And I watched it live. I watched it live while the UFC thing was going on in the background, and my friends were like, "Yo, why are you watching this? Because I want to see what he has to say." This was the time for him, so it should have been the culmination of all that had been happening with him.
Yeah.
In recent time, he fell flat on his face, right? It's the same thing that's happened to all this other shit. They love to talk. Now it's time to catch up. Boom, he doesn't do it. And Jason Schreier and all these other dudes is full of shit. Like he collected all these and wasn't gonna do nothing with it. Wasn't gonna do anything with it until it was the time of his choosing. But he chooses now because it makes Xbox look bad now that they're looking to buy them. I'm like, fuck those guys.
Activision announces Elsewhere Entertainment new studio formed to develop all new franchise. Headquartered in Poland, the new studio is hard at work creating a brand new narrative-based IP. So that's the studio that Realist was talking about, the one in Poland, in Warsaw, Poland, with additional resources.
I think that's the capital. That's pretty much who owns CDPR too.
Yeah.
So they got talented team at Elsewhere consists of a collection of storytelling experts whose credits include The Last of Us, Uncharted, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Destiny, The Division, and Far Cry. That's some pretty good titles, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, the content war is over. The console war is over. I think Xbox lost the console war, but they're definitely not going to lose the content war. They got, I mean, once it's revealed that those games pretty much, they don't sell and it costs a lot of money. Now here you come, you got Hellblade coming in a few days, and then you got this new studio talking about they're about to make a game in the same vein.
Uh-oh. Somebody drop off?
No, I didn't drop off. I just pretty much said that because it's like I see, a lot of these games, these movie games coming from Xbox.
Yeah. This
one is sounding like a movie game. So it's just interesting to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how the media, how gamers, how people respond and receive them after all this time. Basically taxing Xbox. Everything that they do is never good enough. Now you have the studio that pretty much is undeniable with their name behind a publisher with a game that everybody loves behind a studio that's making another movie game. I really want to see those scores for Hellblade because it scored in the 80s and it was not as big as this one's going to be. And I just want to see, how long can they continue to say that there's no Xbox tax? How long can they continue to, basically punish games that are exclusive to Xbox?
They'll continue.
Especially
it's never going to end because, no matter what game they put out, they're going to continue to say it's not good enough no matter how good it is, they'll continue to say it's not good enough.
See, that's what I'm saying, Tech. Like Hellblade meets all the criteria. It's a pretty game. It's story driven. And it attacks an issue that has nothing to do with gaming. Right? This is about schizophrenia. I mean, because honestly, man, there's nothing you can tell me that says that The Last of Us 2 didn't win because of the matter that it addressed.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing you can tell me because Ghost was a better game.
Yes, of Tsushima. Yeah, I've been saying this too. It's like they spite. It's like they cut their nose to spite their face. Because Sony had Game of the Year one way or another between those two games anyway, right? It didn't matter. That's not even a point of debate. But it's like they wanted to go for, I guess. See, everybody keeps using the word woke now, and then that's the only word that comes to mind. But basically, you get what I'm saying, right?
Well, but they want all that the word woke has kind of turned like when people have a tablet and they just automatically say iPad, even though it's not an iPad.
Yeah,
you know,
right? It's like that. It's like that, right?
Now.
Where it's all that preachy shit, right? That they're doing, and they did it with that game, right? Because of the subject matter with the trans character and blah 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 and all of that, which is part of the reason why I think they killed what's his name, right? All of that happens for that reason. But like, no, bro, it's like they spite their own nose. They cut off their nose to spite their face.
They cut the nose to spite their face.
Thank you. I just can't get that one out. I don't know, fuck me up. But yeah, but you get what I'm saying though. It's like they won it, but instead of just taking the win that they legit earned with a great game, right? That's now on PC and now other people are enjoying it, right? It'll get more acclaimed and get them more money that they actually deserve on it, right? But to go and do that with Last of Us, that's gonna get resold again for like the 18th time, I'm sure in the next 6 months, right?
Joke,
like,
man.
which nobody even fucking likes that hard. But you hit the internet tell it. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. It was Game of the Year. Yeah. Like, once again, see, making stupid decisions that's going to burn them later. Because now they have this whole mindset of what a Game of the Year is and what a Game of the Year isn't. Now, a good piece of art like a Ghost, right, isn't remembered as such, but a game that pissed off a lot of people will be. And that's not good because people are learning the wrong lessons from it. So that's Sony for you though.
It's Sony for. I'm interested what that new studio is gonna bring. So I wonder how soon it's gonna, like, they announce it now. Now are we not gonna hear something until what, 2 years from now? Because they're good at that.
Studio?
They're good at that.
You mean
they're announcing
studio?
something like 5 years ahead of time. I'm like, dude, I don't want to know now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. We shouldn't hear anything from them within 3 years. 3 years.
I think that that news gets out because of what happened with the studios. I don't think that Xbox expected that type of blowback from these studios that were never beloved. And now you can say you love me, but you got to show me. And in terms of business, you show me with your money. You're not buying the product. Why should I continue to make the product? You know what I mean? The Evil Within 1 came out. Evil Within 2 came out. People were expecting an Evil Within 3. They left Easter eggs in, what's the name of that game? Hi-Fi Rush for the Evil Within. People thought that it was in the works. But these games got a hit. Now, you have a game that was only $29.99. You can play it in the service for no additional cost, and people still didn't play it. What does that tell the business?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you, by any metric, it was, and let's just say that it did. It didn't make them. It wasn't enough to save Tango.
Nope.
They even put it on PlayStation, and it's not in the top 100 at $29.99. Yep. And then you put another game in Sea of Thieves in there, and it's up there. And another thing that I'm pretty much, it's like this is, I heard that on this, whatever they call their podcast on IGN. They were saying, well, Ninja Theory might be next if it's not a hit.
Yeah.
It's like, Don't you idiots understand that this was not about Microsoft Studios? This was about Bethesda and making them a lean company. This was they bought Bethesda. Bethesda was in trouble. They were bloated.
Yep.
And so that's where Microsoft comes in and offers them a sweetheart deal, in my opinion. Basically, double their valuation.
Yep.
Right? People don't want to see these things just
For what they
because,
are.
like, and this is what I blame Jason Schreier for, because he created this whole atmosphere, and this is what I've always said. I've maintained this throughout it all. I've worked construction jobs. I was an inspector and aviation maintenance, like you, sick, and
Mhm.
we worked 10s, 12s if it was necessary. If it was necessary, I guess that's called crunch now, huh? Doing a
Mm.
little overtime.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like he
Mm.
created this whole narrative around game development, like it's more special than a teacher. Teachers are
Yep.
not getting paid to grade these test papers after hours.
But they
You know
have
what I
to.
mean? They're on salary too.
Yeah.
And
So,
everybody
but
knows they make less money than they deserve for a key function as they serve. Right? Everybody
and
knows it. Nobody wants to
and now
advocate for them to make more money.
and now the kids don't have home training, and they're stealing off on the teachers.
Yep.
Where's the outrage? But Jason Schreier is a part of this whole crunch
Yep. Yep.
culture. This whole making it like shit. Crunch brought us some of our best games.
Yeah.
Crunch is basically the mark of somebody who wants to do a good job. They can't
Yeah.
make you stay.
Yeah, crunch
It's
cereal.
like
Crunch cereal's good
look.
too.
They took that same money when they didn't have work to do, and they would say, "Hey man, there's nothing to do. Go home, go early, and your check is still the same. Take it at Crunch too."
Yep.
You know, and I know I come from a different perspective, but it is what it is, man. I know most people, they work and they go to a job and they basically do what the boss says. But dude, you got to take the good with the bad, because there's not always time when you're in crunch and you're still making the same money.
Yeah.
It balances itself out. That's the way it works.
It does, because
But all of a sudden,
I'm
we can't
salary.
right? Because
there's
aren't you salary?
sometimes I have to work at night, and yeah, sure, it sucks. But there've been plenty of days where I've gotten off early, and I didn't complain about that. You know.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what you're talking about too with the misinformation. It goes back to Fratanga Plays, because I was in a space, but before the space, I saw Fratanga did a video. No, he did a Twitter post, right? Like you gave the example of I already forgot what developer you said, but you made an example of like they're saying, oh, this developer may be next to be on the cutting block, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did the same thing with Obsidian, right? Because a lot of people like Obsidian, but if you think about it, that doesn't even make sense. Obsidian got work to do. They got a lot on they got a lot of work on their table to do. There's a lot of work on their plate to eat off, right? They're not going anywhere because they got shit to do. Like if it all flops, then maybe they could have issues at the end. But
but Sick,
they're already
this is the
at
thing.
work.
I'm trying to cut you off.
No. But I just want to figure. I'm at the very end. So I was in a space later, right? So somebody that we know in the space, he's not like a detractor or anybody who's trying to start arguments, right? But it already had transformed into a rumor within an hour and a half from when Fratanga had posted the post, which I saw when right after he did it, like a moment afterwards, right? I just happened to be scrolling and it was at the top of my thing, so it was brand new, right? To later on, somebody asking in the space if Obsidian is on the chopping block next, because Fratanga really started that rumor off of that thing. Not that he did it on purpose. That's the one thing I know he didn't do on purpose, but it ended up starting a little bit of that, right? Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people actually think that Obsidian is on the chopping block. But like I said, they have a lot of shit. They have a lot on their plate that can't happen to them, at least right now, till they finish with everything that's on their plate and all of that shit or most of it flops. And then that might happen to them, right? But at that point, they should already see the writing on the wall. But once again, they'll blame Microsoft. But that's how far and quick these rumors can happen. Like that, even by a person who didn't intend it. But I guarantee you, Fratanga learned the power that he has to now start rumors as well. Guaranteed you. If you ever see any talk about Obsidian, it was he started it. Not intentionally.
I've been hearing that a lot. I've been hearing it didn't start with him. He's saying maybe it did. I mean, I don't know when you heard it, but I've been hearing people say maybe Obsidian. What about Obsidian? What about Ninja Theory? It's like, dude, these are Microsoft. These are Microsoft acquisitions.
Yep.
Right. And I can't remember. I think that was on Legal Show, and I asked everybody, why did they buy Ninja Theory? What was the main reason? The first thing came out of Phil Spencer's mouth. This is why I say, man, are you a fan? You know, like, are you an Xbox fan? I mean, it's okay if you're not, but if you proclaim to be a fan of anything, you're tapped in. You're in tune. You're listening. Like Tech is an Astros Pittsburgh fan. He's paying attention to whether they won or lost. He's paying attention to post game interviews when he can. That's just how it works. I'm a Texans fan. I'm watching that stuff. You know what I mean? My team's playing right now. I saw that we won. I'm paying attention to their attitudes. Well, anyway, the main reason they bought Ninja Theory is because they were able to do a lot with a little.
Yes, they did.
Right? Yes, that was his number one reason. That was the thing he said impressed him about Ninja Theory, is that they were able to do a lot with a little.
Yeah.
So they say this budget for this game is $50 million, right? They're not bloated. This was all greenlit by Microsoft. They're going to promote this at a level that they feel is commensurate to the level of the game. People want to see this on billboards and soda cans. It's not going to happen. The game is $50. That lets you know it's a double A, because Microsoft's AAA price is $70, right along with everybody else's. Any Activision game that comes out, this new game that we just got finished talking about from Elsewhere, that's going to get a huge marketing campaign. When Halo comes out, when Gears comes out, those are the games that are going to get these huge marketing campaigns. And I don't think that Ninja Theory would ever take that seriously or take that personally, because they're very aware of who they are as a studio, right? You heard the man use obliterated 15 times during his introductory interview. He didn't want to be obliterated. They know where they are and what they represent in the marketplace. So I heard that he was on an interview on Kind of Funny, and they asked him, how do you feel about the marketing? It's like, no, we're excited about our game. That was from Dirk Griggity said that.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. You look at Obsidian. Obsidian was bought by Microsoft for how much, guys? You guys know?
Obsidian? I have no idea.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah. Right? So this is the thing. They bought this studio, gave them more teams. A team of 13 produced Grounded. Right? Why would they be on a chopping block? Have you ever heard Tango Games announce that they sold 5 million of anything?
Right.
Have you ever heard that from Arcane Austin? No, but the Outer Worlds sold 5 million copies. I know a lot of them were at $2.99, but still they sold 5 million. Right? That means that people were at least interested enough to pay for it on any level.
Yeah.
And now this one is going to be on. The next one's going to be on Unreal 5. It's going to be. And then it was I think Private Division. You know, it's treated like it was a AA game. Although to me it felt like a great AAA game. I had so much fun with that game.
Which one?
This game is going to be leveled up. Outer Worlds.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good game.
Outer Worlds 2? Yeah.
So Outer Worlds 2 is going to be marketed totally different, and it's going to be treated as a marquee franchise.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like when it was private, people go to Private Division. That's Take-Two's like, okay, okay, all right, we'll help you out. Kind of like EA's little original program.
It felt like a Fallout game, but not as big as a Fallout game. It was just like just right.
Exactly.
It was just right.
But see the scope. Well, for some people that's just right. For me, I wanted more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took them too long to come out with the DLC. I need to go back and finish the DLC. I bought the corporate, whatever they call Spacer bundle, whatever it was called. Yeah. I bought that, and the DLC came out so late. It was like, I don't know, man. I'm playing other stuff right now. But why would these studios are not on the chopping block? That's like, what about Undead? You don't hear anybody talking about Undead, right? Because people forgotten about Undead. But why would they buy these? Why would they can't ask these studios that they haven't even given a chance to blossom yet? They just bought these studios in 2017. And Obsidian, everybody acknowledges Obsidian is great at what they do.
Yep.
But these people, they just create narratives, and look, we just have to face it. It's popular to hate Xbox. It's popular to create bad Xbox news. It's popular to just join on the bandwagon and just make Xbox sound like the worst things that's going. But depending on how you look at it, they're the best. They're definitely going to be the best for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see people. Well, I'm just talking about with the value that they represent for the consumer through Game Pass.
Right. No, but also what I meant, although I agree with you 100%, is all the innovation they've brought to this hobby as a whole, the technology, the money, right? The eyes on indies and stuff. Microsoft is responsible for all of that. Not Valve, Sony, or Nintendo. Microsoft did that. People need to put respect on that name. They did all of that shit and don't get no credit for any of it. Everybody else does. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just tired of the poor narratives. I'm tired of the Xbox community buying into them, especially when they parrot them.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah, it's always doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
And they know better, or they should, but they keep falling for it. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way that those studios are on the verge of being lost. It makes no sense. They just bought them, and then they allowed them to expand. Dude, they just bought a whole animation studio to help Undead with their weak spot. They got Coalition over there helping out. And a lot of people don't understand that Ninja Theory is one of the best at motion capture in the industry. So like they bought them and they're fulfilling their purpose. Yeah. Like there's the reason why Tango and Tango, Arcane Austin, and the other two are gone. It's pretty evident as far as I'm concerned. You got to make hits. One of them that couldn't even get a game out of the door.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And one of them was rolled in. So I mean, I understand why we're complaining. Some of them could be in Poland for all we know, or working remotely for Poland.
Right.
But to have those studios, all those studios, I think I explained this before. As in any business, they want to grow and expand. Bethesda ZeniMax was no different because they were just Bethesda at first, and then they formed ZeniMax, and then they went out and started acquiring other smaller studios. All the studios that they acquired were just like them when they were acquired by Microsoft. They're in a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. If you buy somebody healthy, you're gonna overpay. You know, unless you're Facebook buying like Snapchat or something like that, you want to buy them before they get too big. That's just not happening. People aren't just acquiring businesses at top dollar, in the $1 billion range in most cases. There may be some mergers and things like that, or even hostile takeovers. But you don't see companies selling healthy for the most part. So every one of those studios they bought at opportune times. And just because they bought them, that didn't make them good investments. Because for one, they got to produce hits.
Yeah.
Yes, they make good games, but they got to be hits.
Otherwise,
Microsoft bought. Yeah. So those studios that were cut, I understand, bro, and I don't understand why people don't.
Because they don't want to.
No,
because they don't want to. That's why. It's in their best interest. For the people who are largely responsible for all this shit, right? It's in their best interest because it keeps that narrative going. It's how they make their money.
Yeah, that's true. Like a piece of me wanted to believe that they really were bothered.
Yeah, but when
I hear them try to substantiate, it sounds stupid. Go ahead, my bad.
No, it's cool. It's cool. You know, way worse. But what I'm saying is, see, for those who aren't making money on it, well, it's their job, right? So they fiercely defend it, right? And they use social media with their army of simps who come after you, right? Come after you. Look at the situation with Beast of Truth, where these PlayStation ponies, right, tricked him and they got a ringer. The dude he was debating with, and you know how Beast does, he challenges you to a fighting game. So what they did was they got a ringer. The dude he was arguing with on the Spaces is not the dude who played him, right? So now
is it the guy that was talking like, yeah, but Beast, yeah, Beast, like he was all whispering.
I don't even know.
It was a dude who's a pony who's very irritable. He's a handicapped guy, or he's got a bad ailment, and he's obnoxious. Right? You know, some of those people that are obnoxious. Now, you make a bet, you pay the man. Okay,
Nah. Bullshit. And but of course you're laughing about it because you don't really believe that, because it was a ringer, right?
Hey, you make a bet, your word is bond.
But their word wasn't bond.
I don't care if I say, hey man, let's go play tag tonight.
No, but see, that's
I'm
not
still
the
realist. And you bet me, I'm
the realist, baby.
No, but the point was they did all of that shit to spread a lie. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you just don't care to put the truth out there because, you know, you just cracking jokes. It's not that serious to you. It's not your name. It's Beast's name, not my name. But I'm making a point. See, the point was that they'll go that far, even though the word is out, right? So apparently, you know how these PlayStation dudes, it's an army of simps, was my point, right?
Yeah.
So apparently these simps went to some guy who does videos on the fighting game community, right? And fed this guy, their side of the story, not the fact that it was a ringer, right? He didn't actually fight the guy who was debating, right?
Yeah.
And all that shit, right? So now they make a video about it. And now this one dude who I already had muted, and he must have realized because I didn't respond to him, right? So he makes different accounts to try to holler at me, so I can see, just so SIKSLAYER, could see what the dude said, so I could see the video.
Slay him,
right?
Slay him.
I just saw the heads. I just saw the. No, I'm not gonna play the video because number one, I'm giving views to lies. Right?
Sig, I want you to know, Sig, that the guy I was talking about who's got an ailment.
Yeah.
That's Wolfgang Mishima. That's the same dude who came on acting like he was a country gamer. That was his name, Country Gamer. He tricked Beast into a fight. This dude, he's got an ailment. He's home all day playing Tekken and making Tekken videos.
Yeah.
But just because he spoke with an accent doesn't mean that you didn't bet him.
No, he didn't bet that. It was another guy. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
I'm telling you that Wolfgang Mishima and Country Gamer are the same dudes. I'm telling you.
They literally, no, see, and you know how I know? Because there's a space, a recording of the space where they literally, this is where you interrupted me too.
He's a ventriloquist.
That was the point I was about to say. The dude, they literally say this is what they did. In their space, we recorded, and we've seen the clip. That's the point. And that's what I was trying to say before you interrupted me to make your joke. I'm like,
God damn, man, that's the second time, man. You taking it personal? You do it all the time.
You see, you're doing this on purpose. You're sort of act like Dr. He says wild shit. He says wild shit, but you know what I'm saying? But if Dr. does the same thing, it's funny as fuck. No, I get it. But my point is, there's an army of simps, right?
Yeah.
Who will defend the bullshit and keep it going, but they don't get paid at all. But even the gaming press, right? That's what they do. See, they know they're wrong, but they got to pay their bills, right? So they got to do whatever they're told, but they're ensconced in the bullshit anyway, you could tell, right? Except for Destin. Like, he's stuck in a rock and a hard place because he got his nigga moment a couple months back with the with the beginning with the doom and gloom shit. You remember that? And his fellow IGN people was all up in his ass about it, and all he could do was sit there with that look in his face like he understood what the fuck it was, right? Yeah. But like, so they'll sit there and they'll take out that anger on us when we call them out on it on social media, right? And they have a whole army of simps to back them up, right? It's the same mindset, but none of this shit is accurate, true, or anything. But that's the bullshit that gets around, and the whole beast thing is just another example of countless shit that happen all the time. Like I said, this motherfucker tried to make different accounts just for me to try to see the video. I saw his tweet and I already had this. I had the dude muted. I'm like, who's posting after a couple of days of this being done? So
it's like tagging you and tagging you.
Right, because he tagged my name, but I didn't see it because it was already in the mute section, right? Yeah. Of like a thing. But his post was days after the whole thread was already completed, right?
Yeah.
Days after, because they had my name in it, even though I wasn't involved in any of that. I wasn't there for any of the space. This is before I went to vacation, right? This is before all of that, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, what's this? And I clicked the name of the dude, right? I already had this dude muted. He's also Haitian because he got a Haitian flag in his account, right? And then I look, that post has no likes and almost no views even, like 2. So that means one of them is me, and the other one is probably him checking to see if his post went through, right? To try to get at me, and clearly it didn't. So I just put it back on mute, right? And I didn't click on the video because I know the video isn't gonna say the truth about what happened. Because if if Realist is right about this guy plays Tekken all day, then he's a part of the fighting game community. So it probably was that guy who sent it to the YouTube room, made the video on it, but only giving half the story, right? Right? But would they ever go back now? Fuck no. The fighting game community is mostly on PlayStation anyway, right now, right? They're in the process of largely switching to PC as they should, right? But on the console side, that's mostly PlayStation. So of course, it's speaking to that whole audience, and to see Beast the Truth in the video, like the mythic Xbox guy who's going around and talking shit to us innocent ponies. That's the narrative that they put out there. And for regular, and these regular people who don't know shit from shit, this is all they see, right? So it keeps the whole thing going. This is why Microsoft can never get a fair shot on
people
anything.
Are mean,
right? That's basically what they're doing.
You guys are mean,
and that's how it goes, right? Yeah. So like all this misinformation but who's suffering the most for it? It's not us, not Basic Truth. It's not you or me. It's these PlayStation fans. It's Sony. They're literally all fucking fire. This is the first good news I heard out of them, that they have Herman Hulst and the other guy. I don't even know his name. What the other guy's name? I've been saying the other guy this whole time, right? But it just goes to show, like, this Twitter is what account. Needs to happen.
It's the other guy.
The other guy. But yeah, man, it's just the mindset of all of this shit, man. It's all related. It's all bullshit, and it's bad for gaming for everybody. But lately, I just love to see that these guys are the ones who's suffering for it the most. Yeah. It's hilarious to me.
I know you got to leave soon. So let me jump on this. Why didn't Realist tell us that he was going to be in the next Assassin's Creed?
Bro, I don't know.
I mean, he been keeping that tight to himself. Man.
I was under NDA, bro.
NDA. I'm looking at it's like, when did Realist get this gig, and why didn't he say anything? We had an insider the whole time.
NDA.
And he couldn't say anything.
Yeah, man.
So why is everybody against you, man, about being in this game? What's going on? Because they are Blackanese people, you know?
Well, I mean, Sweet Baby Ink detected.
Oh, is that?
So, like, look, we know.
I thought it was popular to race swap everything these days, and this is what's going on.
It's popular amongst like corporations, but not necessarily with consumers.
Yeah.
So, it just wasn't what the people expected. They expected to have, I guess, a single Japanese man to go out and create his story. But, Assassin's Creed has been doing female male protagonists, I guess, since Odyssey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, this is no different. It's just that instead of, us being sister and brother, we just happen to come from two different worlds. Yasuke is a real person in history. Now, all the details of his history, are to be debated, I guess. But let's be honest,
not really.
a black man in 1500, it's not like he had a scribe following him around,
right,
and keeping account to everything that he did. So whether he was a samurai or not, he's been depicted as a samurai in other video games and movies, as well as animated films, and nobody had a problem with it. It's just that now when it's in video games, and that contingent of people, they are, they're being very vocal right now. I guess as vocal as you can be with your fingers.
Yeah.
And anything that comes out and they feel like it's forced diversity or diversity that would have existed without Fink, then they're gonna go out and do what they do. I mean, but it is what it is, man. I keep telling y'all, Fink ain't going nowhere, man. And if Fink goes away, there's 3 other companies that are just like them that just aren't as big. They own 7% of Microsoft, which is a $3 trillion company. Imagine how much they own of your favorite developers.
Yeah.
Okay. This isn't going anywhere. Like they made fun of the writer because she has she, her, or they, them, whatever pronouns. That's just, look, man, anybody with a social media account is popular to do right now, whether you're with that type of thing or not. You're going to do it because everybody around you is doing it. And you know how it is when you're in a work environment, you're the only one that's doing something different. Everybody's looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing what we're doing? So it's popular to do. And that's what people are doing. But those people are mad. I don't know why. I mean, nobody cared about Neo. Nobody cared about the whitewashed animes. See, what happens is that group of people is used to being catered to. They never question why all these Japanese cartoons look white. They never question why all these video games, these characters look white. All these Final Fantasy games, just white people. They never Like, it's to the point where Japanese people are afraid to put their own people in their games and some of their cartoons or anime. I heard you can't call them cartoons.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about those people. It's like Zao. Just because Sweet Baby Inc. helped, that doesn't mean that everything is a negative. You can't just boycott. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't just boycott them just on principle.
Well, my question, I only have a question with that game in regards to Sweet Baby Inc. What Sweet Baby Inc. have to do with that game anyway? Like, I get why they be hiring these people, right? Right? Like these heads or whatever, they think, it's a thing that they could do and it'll help or whatever bullshit narrative you want to use. But like, and they've heavily marketed, the making of this game, right? They've told the story of the guy, he voices the main character, and I even advise for people after they beat the game, maybe they want to play it again with the original Swahili that they wanted to use, right? Because he really didn't want to have to use his voice as like a default voice, but that was a compromise apparently he made, and he did a good job. But like, if you want really good voice acting, maybe you might want to hear in Swahili. But anyway, but they marketed to us the origin of the game, how it's a personal type of story and all these things. So you would imagine it's going to be very accurate to what is real, right? From like the legends and stuff as they're known, right?
Yeah.
Like the cultural identity that the game already has in and of itself, because that's what the game is. It's a large part of the game's identity, right? So why did they need? What was Sweet Baby Inc. gonna add to that? It naturally already had these elements anyway. They didn't need them to regulate on that. Like, that made no sense to anybody who had a problem with Sweet Baby Inc. with that game in particular. You guys are not thinking. You're just using emotions then, because how more woke are they gonna make it, right? If you already believe that shit is woke, the game is woke AF in the name and everything about it. You should already hate it by default if you're that kind of guy. You already weren't gonna fuck with it, right? So to me, it's like that was a waste of money and effort to even do that with that game anyway. But we know how this industry gets down with shit like that. And anyway, so there's that. But anyway, that was just the one thing about that just made no sense to me. Of all the games that did not need the involvement of Sweet Baby Inc., it was definitely that one. It's not. What's the purpose?
Well, I mean, it's an EA game, so you can rest assured that they're gonna.
EA did that.
You gotta think about it. Like, this whole thing is a mass plan, right? It's like, we want you to force behaviors, right? And that starts from the top all the way down, which is why Activision had to go. Which is why Activision had to sell. That's why their stock market price fell. Because if a investor like BlackRock pulls away from you, your stock's going to tank and it's going to cause a run. Why is it falling? What's happening? People are just going to panic. That's just how it goes. So if EA is a part of it, everybody up under them is going to be a part of it, which means that we have a creative process, and that creative process includes minority writers, and that's just how it's going to be. I mean, I don't understand. Like, people got to get it. It's just going to be that way. There's going to be homosexuals in your TV shows, the same way. You know what it feels like? But it's always white people. It felt like, when white people were mad about tokens, right?
What?
And then now you got black people mad about tokens. Straight people mad about tokens.
Yeah. When you have like the token black guy, like what's her name in Friends? At the very like the last couple seasons, they added what's that black chick who usually presents for Ubisoft during their E3 showcases back in the day. She's a true gamer and all that shit. You remember when they first showed off that Rainbow Six game?
Alicia?
Yes. No, is that her name? Yeah.
I only know her. I only know because she's like on Comedy Central for the most part. Alicia Tyler or something like that.
Yes, Alicia Tyler. Right. So what I'm saying is, they added her to the cast of Friends. Now I don't watch Friends. I've never seen an entire episode, but I know even back then when the show was still current, that was the discussion around her. She was the token black person that they added in because the cast was completely white, right? So they added her in as a part of the cast, and she's not even really recognized as such because she was only there towards the end, right? And so like for the sake of our friend here, our host here, who's a little confused by the term token.
Look, I get what you're. I thought it was like a person's name or something. I see what you're saying now.
Well, no. Yeah. Like it was always a term for the black person.
Yeah.
That was always in every movie. There was a token black guy. Like if you watch Spoofs, I can't remember the name of that movie, but one of the guys said, "Well, what are you doing here? I'm the token black guy." No, man, and they started fighting.
Yeah, they started beefing over it. Yeah. That was hilarious.
So like now,
but, I mean, people are not dumb. People understand it's like, okay, this is just being forced on because they got to meet some criteria now.
People are dumb, but even those who aren't, well, they are dumb because everybody sees that. What's stupid is the stupid people see that and then they get mad about it, not understanding it, and that's where you get all these people who are mad about Sweet Baby Inc. and shit like that. Which, to a certain degree, I do understand where they're coming from too. Particularly when you see that one chick who works or does still work. I'm not really sure at Kotaku, Alyssa, whatever, with the glasses, like a former porn star and shit, like WTF type shit, right? But so I get all of that, right?
Yeah.
Is people like those with the multicolored hair and blah 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 that really make certain groups of people look worse than they could be, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of that, and I get the fight against that. But then, see, the same people who believe in that are usually the racist assholes who then have an issue with Ubisoft doing this with this game. But this is the first real person that's playable in the entire franchise. The first time after 8 to 10 installments, they finally have somebody who actually existed that you get to play.
You're telling me all the other characters I played weren't real people?
Oh no! It's shocker, wicked shocker, huh?
You mean to tell me Cerberus doesn't really exist?
Cerberus doesn't exist. Now you're woke. Now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to understand the truth, brother.
I've been fooled this whole time.
Welcome to the fold, brother. Welcome to the real world.
What was that main character in the first three?
Enzio.
No.
Enzo. Altair, and then it was Ezio.
No. The guy that was going into the Animus or whatever that thing.
Oh right. Eventually.
The other one, the Animus.
Right, but they stopped killing. They stopped using the guy who was in the Animus, and they killed them off.
Yeah, in the first three, it was the first three, and
I don't even play the series, but they don't even do the Animus part, right? They just do the part in the past now, right?
Yeah, they just do the past.
No, they do and you do that through the Animus, right?
I don't remember. I don't even pay attention.
Yeah, I mean the ones that I'm playing, and they're the worst parts of the game.
Yeah, it's the worst part. Yeah.
But plot-wise, are they still implementing that? I'm not even talking about gameplay, right? Yeah. Because I understand how it works, but I'm saying, let's say the most recent Assassin's Creed that's out right now, right?
That was the guy. Desmond.
But they killed him off after the third one.
Yeah.
From what I heard. But what I'm saying is, in terms of the current games right now, right? Yeah. Do they still have the part where they explain that a dude is plugged into the Animus, blah, 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 controlling what's going on? Or is it just like they dumped all of that and you just
it's still the Animus.
Yeah.
Okay, so they still
basically there's a
I played Odyssey. Yeah, when I played Odyssey, there were some Animus or whatever you call that thing still in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Because basically there's a girl, there's a girl, and she's in the Animus, and she's living through the eyes of the player you're playing with.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're still doing that still. Or they
I remember in Odyssey, I guess they were looking for some
Leonidas spear or something like that.
Yeah, they were looking for the spear. They looked for some remains or something, and they pumped it through the Animus, and okay, that's how she was able, because I don't think she's related to those characters. Right.
So they didn't need Desmond anymore, and they killed
him
off.
Because basically they live through them to find things in the current time.
Yeah.
Because they're able to see through those historical characters' eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, what I was saying is the white people were mad when black people were being tokens, and it's like now you got everybody being mad that you got gay tokens, and then now it's like in video games, if they race swap, then there's all this woke crap. I hate calling it woke because white people hijack the term, but it's not. That's why I don't like calling it woke. But
It is what
Look,
it is. That's the best word we got for now.
when you
If you
have
find a better
when
one,
you
just let me know.
when you have a group of people who basically run everything and they have all the media, they're making people who look like them. But eventually you have to think about your audience. Your audience has expanded, right? Because if if Archie Bunker came, I knew black people watching Archie Bunker back in the day. I can't think of another Mama's Family. Like they would have some type of representation, in today's society. And I don't have a problem with that because guess what? You work with homosexuals, you work with black people, you work with white people, you work with Asians. Like it's pretty diverse here, especially in the United States. So like just deal with it. I mean, there aren't any African games. I mean, you had Assassin's Creed and he was, I guess, a Muslim, brown man. It's like that when Zao comes out, they crush it, and it's made by a black man. It's a dedication to his dad.
Yep.
No Sweet
It's
Baby Ink
culture.
was not necessary, but they were required.
Right.
It's just how it is, and I'm just waiting to see that time where they put a white person where a black person should be, where the white people have the same type of outrage.
Yeah.
But because Xbox wants to invest in Africa, right? And if they're going to Africa, everybody else is going to Africa too. So you got these black people over there making video games, right? And they're going to be making, for the most part, people who look like them. Are they going to be mad when they have that one or two white people who are where you feel like they shouldn't belong? Are you gonna really make a stink about it? I doubt it. And it's always the same type of people. And you're never surprised when you see them complaining. That's just how I feel about it.
Right. I agree. It just is what it is.
But yeah, man, that was funny. What you got next up on the docket, man? For my man leaves, man. It's almost 2 hours anyway.
You need to still explain how'd you get this job as this character.
Well, on my LinkedIn profile, I have my picture up, and the rest is history. I mean, I don't know what made them pick me outside of, the locks. Because if you look at the statue of Yasuke, our features aren't really the same, and his locks are more like Jack Sparrow's. But if you look at Yasuke and
don't you guys have like the same nose though?
Kind of, but if you look at us, it's not very much resemblance. And if you look at me portraying Yasuke, the locks are manicured. That was one of my requirements. It's like hey, I understand it's 1500s, but this is a work of fiction. So let's give me some manicured locks.
Some apple cider vinegar. They got to make sure it's clean.
Japan is an island. I have access to seawater. That's good for the locks.
All right, cool. Do that.
I got nothing else except that QuakeCon tickets go on sale next week. So you're still down?
Dude, don't ask me no more.
I'm just making sure.
My phone number should be in there. If it's not, if you can't find it, I'll put it back in there.
No, just post it back in there so I can save it.
And then we'll figure it out because like I said, my experience last year was not. It didn't work. It's my first time ever trying to register, but I couldn't register. What do you see?
So here's the ticket prices. This is the first time seeing it. So the standard, which is what I get, I always get this one because that's all I need, is for, well, the event itself is free. So I've kind of explained that already. But to have the seat at the LAN party, yes, that's like more of the charging part. And so you'll get a space to set up and everything. You get a T-shirt and then some kind of one-time discount on fan tickets at, I guess, I don't know what that's about. For $75, you pretty much have a reserved seat at the event. Okay. This is what I get. And then, of course, they got the uppity numbers here with 200 and 400, which gives you other stuff. But for me, I always get the 75 because this other stuff is like, I just don't need it. It's just a bunch of swag that comes with it. But this gets you a guaranteed seat, $75. So it's not like you have to be there on the first day to like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my seat. No. You have your seat, so you're gonna be good.
So are we just playing Quake?
No. You bring your own stuff. That's the thing. So you bring either you want to bring your PC or you want to bring a console. I always bring my Xbox and set up and just game. You can game, over online like you do.
And they give you a TV?
No, you bring your own. You bring your own monitor too.
I'll bring a laptop then.
So you could bring a laptop, or you could bring a full blown PC setup if you want to. I always bring my suitcase that has the monitor and everything inside for the Xbox. So I'm game there. I'm good. I just bring one big ass suitcase that has a monitor. My Xbox is in there. And
you got that Sentinel thing.
Yeah, I got that thing. The Guardian. The Guardian. It's called the Guardian. So let's see. Let me see if I can bring that up.
I see the Sentinel on sale. That's why I thought yours was a Sentinel too. The Sentinel's what, $350?
This is what I got.
How much is one you have?
This is what I got right here. The Games Guardian Pro XP, which if you can see it, it's a suitcase. And right here in this little area that I'm pointing out, I don't know if you can see it, is where the console sits. And then on the side pockets, it's where the controllers and my accessories go. And then it has all the USB connections I can, hook up if I need to charge. Same thing for audio. But I bring my headset anyways, which connects directly to the Xbox, so there's nothing for me to do there. And then you got the 1440p screen here. And so it's really nice. Heavy thing, but it's really nice case. And I've had it since it came out. Yeah.
Can a Series S fit?
Yeah. Oh, it fits perfectly.
Nice. Okay.
It's what I use anyways when I take it with me because the Series X is not gonna fit there at all.
No, I ain't gonna buy nothing else, man.
And so,
hey, two quick things before I dip out. I just wanted to ask you guys. Yeah. Number one, the Mike Tyson fight is this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Is it?
I thought it was Tyson Fury.
No, Jake Paul.
I think they fight in June.
No, because they just had the press conference, so I don't know.
But so did Tyson and Tyson Fury and Usyk.
No, okay.
But I know Tyson and Jake Paul fight next month.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask all that is because, of course, Undisputed, which now there's a game.
Oh, the game.
I was late on, even the fact it was on Steam for a long time, so I was super late to that, right?
You ain't missed nothing.
Shout out. No, well, okay, fine, but I'm just saying, for a game of its type, particularly because there's not a lot of that, right? That it's great to hear that it's coming to consoles now. I can't knock that because there's no Fight Night game. There's no Fight Night game, so this is the one thing we got. Yeah, but we don't have a Fight Night, so we got this. And for those of y'all who fuck with boxing, it's coming to consoles. Like if you really mess with boxing like that, you probably should have got it on Steam, but maybe you don't rock games on PC at all. And that was the only option up until now. They'll be on PlayStation and Xbox. So listen, I just wanted to put that out there that folks, if you're really about boxing like that, bro, support this game because it's all we got. Yeah, we should get another Fight Night instead. We should have had a couple. But so we got.
I guess the I guess the Fight Nights didn't sell, right? They wanted to make it like a long running franchise like Madden because they had Fight Night. They had was it called Undisputed too? Didn't they have one called Undisputed?
Yeah, that Fight Night Undisputed. It was 3 of them, I think.
And then they have the last Fight Night that's on sale for like $5. But like, I don't understand how they could get the roster together, but EA couldn't, right?
Right.
But we gotta keep because I see a lot of people getting excited, man. I've been playing Undisputed for like 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like
late to that game.
It was always gonna be a console game because you had to play with console. I mean, you had to play with a controller. But like it needs so much work, man. And I admire the studio's hard work. That's why I went and bought the game. But like, it needs a lot, man. I'm rooting for them. It's a small studio, man.
Right.
Like
That's the thing. I
they've been
give them
working on this
pass.
game for so long, and like people gonna go back to Fight Night, bro. It's still not as polished as Fight Night. Uh, they really, for me, they got to really work on that damage system. They worked on a lot of the aesthetics, like the footwork is nice. Uh, the styles are just like in Fight Night. You really look like you're fighting with Roy Jones. I mean, it box just the way their human counterparts do, but it's like the whole damage system. It's like, you know how like in Fight Night, you know, if you hit somebody with like a perfect counter, hit him with a haymaker, he's going to sleep. You really can't pull that off in Undisputed. The way you have to win it Undisputed is you got to work the body until the person's stamina gets low. Then you might be able to knock them down and get a TKO or knockout. Yeah. And it can take you the whole fight to wear them down through the body like that. It's like it needs some work. I'm hoping that you guys love it. And I hope that you guys just forget all about Fight Night and don't remember how good it was. But if you remember how good it was, you'll see that this game still has a long way to go. But I'm rooting for them, man. It's Steel City, I think that's the name of the developers.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a small studio, man, and it's been in beta forever.
Right.
And
but that's the thing. Like you filters reacting like, it's not. And you're right. It's not all that, but it's what we got. Right, and it's from a small studio, so we got to support what we got because prior to this we had nothing. So you got to take what you got to get when you have nothing.
The potential is there, is exactly. What and I really want them to do. I don't want people to play it and be like, this is trash.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. I want people to play it and fall in love with it, and then that way we can have because I'd rather play a boxing game over like a Street Fighter. I love boxing.
I get it, but you sort of kind of shit on it as soon as I brought it up.
I'm not sort of kind of shitting on it. I am, but
so there you go. You see what I'm saying?
There's a reason.
Speaking both sides of it now.
No, I'm not speaking out both sides of it. This game has its shortcomings, man.
Yes,
no, I'm and like everybody is getting excited, and like, man, you know how it is when people get excited and things don't meet expectations.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, I played the game in beta. My expectations were low. I've been playing it off and on. Every time I get a notification about an update, I'll install it again and play it. And then I'll see that it still has the same issues that I didn't have before. But yeah, they put Big Daddy in there. Yeah, I fought with Big Daddy for like a day and a half. Then I uninstalled it again. You know what I'm saying? It's like the things that they're doing well, I don't think that people are going to care about once it comes to a competitive setting. When people can't win fights because they know they're doing this right, they're not going to be worried about people's footwork looking A1, because the footwork and the footwork does look great. Like the movement of the fighters looks great, but the actual fighting systems need a lot of work, and they still have until October. And I'm surprised that nobody jumped on board with them and offered them any help. Nobody can spare guys, I guess.
I'm
but
surprised
there's plenty of people
on Game Pass or something like that. Some kind of system that can give them some extra money. But I guess
I wouldn't be surprised.
They already had that with Steam, I guess.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in Game Pass and PS Plus.
I hope so. They can use that, and hopefully they can hire more people to do what you're saying.
They've proven that they take your money and put it back into the game.
Right.
So just imagine if they got a huge influx from console gamers. Because let's be honest, man, a lot of people it just depends on the games, man. You never know what's a hit where. PC players will make a game a hit and nobody cares about it on console, and vice versa. So it wasn't a huge hit on PC, but it could take off on console. People talk about it, but you get in there, it's not like it's just brimming people that's ready to take on a match.
Yeah.
But but I hope that they get this influx of money and they're able to hire the right people, and not that they're in the wrong people, just more of the right people. How's that? To make this game what I think it can be.
Right.
It's all about expectations, bro. Because people really want Fight Night. Fight Night was executed so great that people are still playing it today. The execution of that game for it to be so old and people still playing it today. I can get on Fight Night right now and there's 1,900 people waiting on a match.
God dang.
And it's because that's all they got. There's nothing modern, up to date, none of that.
But if it wasn't fun, they wouldn't play it though.
No, I get it, but it's also all they have. So thank God it's fun. But if there was a game, right, that was an active development where they're listening to the player base, and just like you said, whenever they get money, they're not wasting it. They're putting it into the game, and you see it improve. Yo, you want to mess with that, because all you have is, while admittedly a great game, that doesn't distract at all from what I'm trying to say is that we could have a new great game that's up to date, that's not nearly 20 fucking years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the Sweet Science deserves at least that. At least that.
But Siggy, what if I told you that 20-year-old game is better?
Maybe it is, but you know what? This new game can never be any better if it's just not supported at all. You know what I'm saying? Because they just want to sit back and play a 20-year-old game.
I want to play Fight Night.
No, I think it's gonna go crazy on console. For one, all the boxing fans who don't have a PC have been watching videos and watching people do it, because streamers can make any game look great if they choose to.
They do.
Because that guy, there was this guy I used to watch who only covered Undisputed, and he was hired by Undisputed to be a part of their marketing, on YouTube. So it's crazy. Like they really want the game to be successful. They're putting in the work. They're doing all the right things. If anything, that's one team that I wouldn't say, they're lazy or they're half-assed. I'm saying they're doing the best that they could. They're doing the best they can, and I want it to be a success, and I want it to meet people's expectations. But if it comes out in October the way it is today, it's not going to meet expectations, and that's what I'm afraid of. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I can't knock that though. But it was pretty clear what you made all along. But yeah, man, because you know how it'll be. Like, you get it all hyped up, and then they see it, and it's because people are quite binary when it comes to stuff like that. They think the most, the maximum, even though it's not what you said. Even if you utter the words, "This is not the best thing ever," they still working on it, and blah blah blah. They still gonna take it like, "Oh my God," and not put that into mind when they evaluate it, right, for its value or not. And that's a shame. But that's people for you, man. People are fucking stupid.
People are dumb
as shit, and it really does.
I mean, because like I watch UFC. I don't want to play a UFC game. But that's the thing. That's the reason why we're on a UFC 5 and a Madden 25, is because they have a governing body. I'm not going to talk too much about boxing, but boxing needs a governing body. There's too many renegades out there. There's too many renegades out there.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when they try to get I mean, in NBA they do it too, because Sheezy is not going to be in 2K anymore. You know what I mean? Charles Barkley has never been in a basketball game outside of the one he was paid, Shut Up and Jam, right?
Oh, right.
So,
I remember that.
He doesn't. He says they don't pay enough, and they make billions of dollars off these video games. But I'm assuming that the players get a cut of it. You know what I mean? Because they make a deal with the NBA. So current players, they're in the game, but when you retire, you say, I either want to be in it or not, or I can negotiate my own rate.
And Charles Barkley would say some selfish shit like that, because we know he done drank and pissed all that money away that he had. Fuckface.
Terrible.
But you got to look at it. I mean, they are in business for themselves. I mean,
no, I get it, but he's the first one that we've heard a quote from. Why? Because he broke his shit. Because he done pissed away all his money, so he's the most focused on that tip. Not that he's wrong.
Jordan didn't do it. Jordan didn't do it until was it NBA Live started paying him?
Yeah, right. Because he's greedy as fuck too. Like, he was already making all this money. What more money did it change for him? Nothing, right? And he may be the GOAT, but he was also an asshole and still is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at his fucking sneakers. Like, come on, man. Like, all the shit. I've never worn Jordans. I never will. But it's not because I hate it. But even now, as a grown man who could afford them, bro, I'm not putting money in this asshole's pocket.
I never touched a Jordan before either.
Bro, you know who makes the most comfortable shoes in my opinion?
Ooh.
And like, I got a buddy. He weighs four bills,
Damn.
right?
Mm.
So
Wow.
like, he said, "Man, you gotta get you a pair of Yeezys. They're the most comfortable shoes." I was like, "Man, I wish I would."
But I'm not supporting that. I'm not supporting that idiot either.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, he said those are the most comfortable shoes.
I imagine they are though. Yeah.
But the thing is like the only way you were gonna get them is if you paid above retail on resale, and I don't do
Yeah.
that, not
Right.
often, and not for
Yeah.
double and triple the price. So now that Yeezy did his thing that makes you call him an idiot, right? Okay, so now I can go buy Yeezys.
Go ahead, buy Yeezys.
I got
or just because I think he's an idiot. Yeah. Well,
no. I got some Yeezys and for right at resale on the resale. And I'm like, whoa, these are comfortable. But I've always wondered because if a dude that weighs that much says that they're comfortable, they're comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, when they come to the facts, yeah, that's got to
so
be
since
right.
the Yeezy, bro, I've been on Adidas, bro. I bought all of the boots. I got like 6 pair of the boot shoes.
Man,
I don't know what they're called.
I got me Skechers, baby. Woo!
Yeah, well, see, I used to rock Skechers because we got Skechers outlets and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I got the Hardens Tech.
I got
my kids
Adidas
said
too,
they're
man.
ugly.
I got just slip on Adidas tennis shoes, man, because I got tired of laces.
I don't lace my shoes anyway, unless I'm gonna go do something athletic.
Yeah.
I just have the shoelaces loose enough so where they don't hang on the ground.
Really?
But
like you have the little ends just kind of like sticking out the lace holes?
Dangling, yeah. Because I mean, if they're not gonna hit the ground,
on your foot, man.
The shoes. Well, okay.
I feel like the tongue will go wide open and like your foot would just flop out of the shoe.
Okay, well, shoes that I wear, for the most part, Vapor Max, and now I've been wearing Adidas the past couple months.
Yeah.
So like those shoes, for the most part, are socks. Like once you put your feet in there, your feet are in there, unless you're gonna go do something athletic.
See, if I had to wear shoes that I had to tie up, I have them nice and tight and double knotted. That's how I wear my double knotted.
I mean, if I need a support, like if I was gonna go hoop or something, yeah, but I'm just walking around, and then I'm just gonna kick them off when I go home.
What if you got to run from the cops, yo?
Is it because I'm black?
Exactly, because you're black.
But I'm Yasuke, man. Like, come on. Japanese people love me. Cops love me. Everybody loves me, man. But no,
you know who I am.
But I'm just saying, if y'all in the market for some shoes, man, y'all need to check out Adidas. Hey, what's your second one? What's your second one, Sick? Because it's over 2 hours anyway.
Yeah, I thought you had 90 minutes, man.
Yeah. Well,
your girl's gonna be
let me
mad.
just say, chick is man, she's late, so I'm waiting on her. Yeah, so it's all the better. That's why I stopped talking about it.
Well, see, you see how chill we are when they're late, but when we're late, they just won't shut up about it, huh?
But you got a baby coming from NY?
Oh yeah, you know what it is, bro.
Well, I mean, you gotta just shut up and just be happy when she gets there.
That's why I'm dying. That's exactly what I did. I didn't say shit. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't say shit. I just let it be.
Nah, you should cross your arms and like tap your foot and be like, I'm upset.
Yeah. But then you gotta break out a smile when she say you mother.
Huh?
I said, but then you gotta break out with a smile when she says you mother. If she comes in and your arms are crossed and you're tapping your feet like you're mad that she's late, and she says you mother. You better go ahead and bust out with a smile and let her know you're just joking.
I'm just playing, baby.
If she says that, right, and she calls me that, all I'm gonna say is you don't have any kids. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's fix that, baby.
She's called me that because she's called me no. She's called me an MF once. I'm like, you don't have any kids. What are you talking about?
You don't want little SIKSLAYERs running around?
Nah, bro. I put my energy into my family. There are other people, who've gotten that advice and all that energy, and they're doctors and shit now. I'm good. The family name continues on.
He's letting everybody else do the job.
I'm gonna be like everybody else. That's selfish.
How is that selfish? And that's the
dude, I said I'm gonna be like everybody else.
The world is overpopulated anyways, man. We don't need more kids.
Exactly. That's the joke. No, I get it, but that's what I'm saying. That shit never made sense to me when I was a kid. I'm like, if I say I don't want kids, right? I was like 12 when I said that to my mom. If I say I don't want kids, I didn't even get to finish the question. She goes, what? Why are you selfish? Selfish.
What?
I'm 12 years old. But if I'm 18 or 25 and I decide I don't want kids, how am I being selfish? There's already too many people on the planet.
You don't love
I'm
your
not
mother?
being selfish. I remember
you
saying
don't love
all
your
that to
mother?
her.
You don't want me to be a grandmother?
I'm like, and now my sister has 3, right? Yeah. A girl, a boy, and then another girl. So she got the complete set plus 1. What you want from me? That's what I said to her. What the fuck you want from me?
Well, you already getting it from her. What do you need me for?
Basically. But yeah, man, that's what's going on. Oh, sports-wise, I just want to say, yo, the Knicks, man, listen, as a New York, I think I spoke on this the last time, right? The Knicks have never been a team that I ever thought would win. And I remember in the 90s when it was them versus the Bulls, I was with the Bulls, right? I didn't like the Knicks, bro. I never liked that, right? But I gotta say, they've been doing a lot better, but they don't have a bench. And so now I'm noticing. Now the press is noticing the same thing.
Get them on, dude. They gotta sit down at some point.
Exactly. I'm just a casual fan. I don't know. I'm not that deep in it, but I think New York is on the road to getting a chip. Probably not this year, right? Because they have no bench and they're worn the fuck out. Their legs are linguini already at this point because they're being young and dumb.
Bring
right?
back Carmelo Anthony.
We're young. We could do that and blah blah blah. Yeah, right. But I think eventually they can get there, bro. They're on the road to that, bro. They just need, a bench, right? Shit like that. They got pieces. The
Google
whole
poll.
Top to bottom.
Right here,
doing better.
Google.
I'm happy. I'm happy to see that. The Yankees, of course, they're doing. They're kicking that early on in the year. As they do, they'll fuck up later, I'm sure.
The league is better when New York is a good team.
Yes.
The problem is Dolan. He doesn't know how to construct a winner.
Nope.
But shout out to Houston, man. Back door, call him Houston. We took that away from y'all, and then San Antonio took it away from y'all. You know what I'm saying? San Antonio is my real squad, but I don't mind when the home team wins.
I'm gonna put my Pirates cap on top of my other cap. Oh, you guys can't see the camera, huh?
Yeah, I don't rock with you dual team guys.
Hey,
you and legal, man. Y'all some phonies. Hey, if you have 2 baseball teams, you'll be a pony by pride.
Look, I got my Astros hat on top, and I got my Pirates on top, and then I got my Mexico baseball classic or whatever league they were in. They got a nice sweet cap for Mexico.
You a Stars fan? Or do you root for the Stars?
3 hats at once.
Stars?
Wow.
Yeah, they should have won last night. But
no, they should, man.
They need to win.
No, Avalanche need to win.
Stars win it. They go to the conference finals. Yes.
They played last night.
I know they lost last night.
Yeah, it's 3-2, but
they need to close it out tomorrow.
Hey, we won year before last, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Let's go, Stars. Let's go, Stars.
Have the Stars ever won a cup?
Yeah, 99.
So
it's been too long.
Look at you.
I got my Madonna, man. I got my Madonna jersey ready to be worn again once we go to the cup. Or the finals. Yeah. Yeah. I got
Mike Madonna.
Yeah.
You talking about hockey?
Hockey, yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about Stars.
Because at first, I was like, you mentioned Mexico soccer. I'm like,
No,
I don't know him.
No, the Mexico baseball team.
The baseball league.
Mexico baseball team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had when they were doing the country versus countries playoffs or tournament.
Was that a World Baseball Classic?
Like everybody was saying, they had the best uniform of all the countries. And then I ordered a hat. Because it's a pretty nice hat.
Mm.
So
Sounds good. It sounds like it look good.
So I got my Astros hat right now on top. I got Pittsburgh in the middle, and then I got my Mexico hat on right now.
I stopped buying ball caps, man.
I got tons, dog.
Because when all the ones that are size 9, I need a 9 to fit my hair. But all the 9s, for the most part, not all of them, but most of them are ugly. So I have to live vicariously through my kids.
No, I got a lot of Astros ones because they always come out with some nice looking additions. And then I got one Rockets cap, and I want the astronaut one, and I think they stopped selling that one. With the astronaut, the astronaut dunking. That was a sweet logo.
Oh, bro, I bought my baby.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was gonna buy it, right? I saw this chick with it on. You know, the Space City blue and orange.
Yeah.
I think they change them every year because the one that I wanted is not the one that I was able to buy. It was still a blue and orange Space City.
Yeah.
But I saw my daughter when she saw it on that chick. She was like, "Oh, I like it too." So I went and bought us both personalized Space City jersey.
Yeah, I got 2 Space City ones.
Yeah,
they're nice.
Got your name on them?
No. I don't like getting names on them. I don't even like getting the player ones. I like to get the blank ones, but no, they're nice.
Oh, you rock a blank?
Yeah, I rock them blank.
Nah, bro. Yeah. Like you can even because like
I only have one personalized one, and I didn't even buy it. My wife was my girlfriend at the time, and she bought it. She ordered for me for my 30th birthday, and the only reason why I remember it was 30th because she put the number 30 on it. on the jersey, and it has my last name on the back of an Astros jersey.
Because at first I didn't buy personalized, but I bought my brother-in-law one like 3 Christmases ago. He was I said, "Hey man, what's your favorite number, man? If you had a jersey, what would your lucky number be?" He was like, "Oh, 21. He's from New Orleans. He's from that easy. Yeah, I get 21." I was like, "All right, man." I remembered that.
Yeah.
And so I got him a jersey with his last name, a Falcons jersey. I was like, when I first met, I was like, man, a New Orleans fan that roots for a team other than New Orleans. But he said, man, I had enough of the ain't. You heard? I was like, yeah. Sometimes, man, I'm surprised, man. Like Dirt. I mean, at least they won. You know what I mean? They've won championships. But like, man, I ain't gonna lie, it'd be hard to root for a team that never wins, never gonna win. Yeah. Like, man, Atlanta, they'll win eventually because of the nature of the NFL. There's parity, so eventually they'll get one, but they're gonna be waiting. Same thing with the Hawks.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks?
Mm-hmm. Because he's a Braves fan. He's a Braves fan and a Falcon fan.
Mets just whipped on the Phillies, 6-5. Love it. Love to see it.
Oh man. Oh, so you root for any New York team?
Man, he's not a real fan.
Oh no, it's just I haven't. Oh, actually, I'm not even a fan of the Mets like that. I already told you about that. My dad was, but I have certain teams on my TV, and it pops up when with the scores and stuff. So they just popped up with the Mets and Phillies. They beat the Phillies 6-5. I'm not a big fan of the Phillies, so there you go.
Oh, you're right there, man. You might as well be a Philly fan.
Yeah, right. But, you want me to be an Eagles fan too? Because I don't hate the Eagles as a team, but I hate their fans. And I've come to know just how big of assholes they are since moving to this state. And that's the one thing I will never root for that team.
Oh,
fuck
shit.
Them.
My mom's fence just blew down.
Yeah, it's raining real bad.
Wow.
Why is she showing me a picture? Ah,
so
shit.
Summer
the roof pulled up a bit.
Friday.
And your mom in Houston,
really?
right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, she lives by herself too.
Yeah, bro. Like the thunder was so loud earlier when I went on mute.
Yeah,
I was like, man. But y'all didn't say nothing, so I guess y'all didn't hear it. But it was ridiculously loud. The lightning is so bright. But anyway, guys, man, we talked about gaming. We talked about some BS.
Yeah. All right,
we did a typical show, bro.
Chatterbox.
In the end,
your Cubs suck. I mean, Google Post. Your Cubs suck. Yankees, you suck. Astros, they're rolling again, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yankees kick ass, bro.
So.
Don't be a pessimist, man.
They'll suck later. Don't worry about the Mets. The Yankees. They'll suck later. Right. They always do.
Let's head on out. Good night. Bye.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Did it stop? Stop streaming.